Careful, Cena, with Styles' fingers. Careful, and well... Crown Jewel was a spectacular night to honor Seth Rollins, and above all, our first Stephanie Batcher, no doubt about it. Almost 15,000 attendees filled the Rug Arena in Perth, Australia to be present at this event, which keeps growing in popularity every year. However, not everything was as perfect as it seems. That's why I'll stop talking now, because today I'm going to present to you 5 mistakes that happened at Crown Jewel 2025. Number 5. Rollins' anger. Seth Rollins had a fantastic night at Crown Jewel as he finally managed to defeat Cody Rhodes and is now the WWE Crown Jewel champion. Many thought the match was incredible, despite some obvious ups and downs. However, that being said, the night didn't start off very well, as Paul Heyman hinted that he might be about to betray Rollins before the match even began. However, discussing the mistake means discussing an awkward moment. At the beginning of the match, Seth Rollins was taken down by Cody Rhodes and the referee Sean Bennett. He accidentally got in his way, so he ended up hitting him in the face with his knee. You could see the anger on Seth Rollins' face. When the referee tried to check on him and make sure everything was okay, Rollins, in his anger at the moment, even ended up hitting the referee, confirming to us fans that he didn't like this incident, which, beyond being a real hit, ended up being a more than uncomfortable moment, especially for Sean Bennett, who unfortunately had to cross paths with Rollins unintentionally. Number 4. Cena's sister Abigail, the best match of the night, or the day, or the morning. I'm not sure when the event aired in your countries, but it was definitely the John Cena vs. Alan Jones Styles match. A match loaded with memories for the fans, and above all, the emotion of WWE legends. Cena, throughout the entire match, performed several moves in honor of great legends of the company who, at some point in his career, ended up being his rivals. From Chris Jericho, Rusev, Undertaker, Randy Orton, etc. However, John Cena gave an especially emotional tribute to Bray Wyatt when he tried to hit Alan Jones Styles with Sister Abigail. But unfortunately, Cena would ruin the moment. It's worth noting that Cena didn't execute it correctly. He used both arms and ended up turning it into a facebuster when it should have been a hook DDT. However, I understand that a tribute is an act of honoring and it will never look exactly like the original. But many perfectionist fans noticed this mistake and pointed it out on social media. But honestly, I don't care. I'm sure Bray Wyatt was proud wherever he is. Number 3. The forgetting of Katie Zayn. Katie Zayn appeared to forget her role in Chrome Yoga. By this, I mean that the wrestler forgot at some point during the match the move she was supposed to do next. So the referee, Jessica Carr, was forced to step in to remind her. Katie had just taken them down, Kai, and you can hear the referee, Jessica Carr, shouting at her to run up and hit her, knocking her off the ring apron and making sure she can't get back in. Jessica Carr had to repeat the order several times before Katie Zayn ran toward Rhea Ripley and finally hit her. Minutes later, Katie Zayn was the one who took the 3 count to end the match, with Rhea Ripley hitting a riptide before the over-the moonsault secured the victory for Ripley and Dakota Kai in Australia. Number 2, the Usos were in no hurry. Roman Reigns was in the match that kicked off the Crown Jewel event to face Bronson Reed in an Australian street fight. In a 21-minute match, Roman Reigns had the support of the Usos. They revealed themselves only after Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed had already thrown him into the announcer's table. Even so, their music played, and instead of running to help their cousin, they chose to dance all the way down the ramp until they reached Braun Breaker. The strangest thing of all is that there was no urgency from them, no rush. Wasn't their cousin being attacked? But they didn't care. They just wanted to please the crowd. It's not of extreme importance, but they didn't care. He was probably lying on the ground for a while after being slammed through the table. Meanwhile, Jimmy and Jay were dancing with the crowd to their entrance theme. And Roman Reigns? He can go to hell. Another Cena tribute at number 1. As mentioned earlier, John Cena and Aegis Tales made their crown jewel match a luxury showcase for the fans. Number, which allowed them to use several finishers from recognized WWE legends, mainly former rivals of John Cena. Number. Among them were also Bray Wyatt and The Miz. However, you might think one of Cena's most surprising tributes was to Chris Jericho, taking over the Y2K virus walls as the entire arena chants Y2J. It was very emotional for me as a Jericho fan. However, in this number 2, I will bring 2 mistakes, but they happened at the same moment. Number. When Cena tried the walls of Jericho, he stepped on Alan Jones Styles' hand. You could hear the Phenomenal One shouting at Cena, and the latter ended up moving his foot to step on the mat. Even though that must have been painful, Cena fortunately reacted quickly. Now, if we talk about a mistake made exclusively by the Spanish commentators, we'll notice that Marcelo Rodriguez called the walls of Jericho the walls. Watch out for the walls. Really, you know? I don't understand why, because I know that Marcelo did know they were the walls, and I also know he knew that Cena was paying tribute to Jericho. Maybe he avoided mentioning things by name so as not to directly associate Chris Jericho. But the English commentators said everything, even the iconic phrase, "break the wall down." And they also mentioned that they were the walls of Jericho. These are minor mistakes, so I included both in the same ranking. Stay tuned for upcoming episodes of the new series, What Happened in WWE? A series that compiles the most important events in WWE from 1990 to the present. Oh, and in the description I'll also leave you my secondary channel where there are amazing vlogs about wrestling. Subscribe.